Council voted in August to approve a non-binding memorandum of understanding to sell its 25% stake in the Hickory Log Creek Reservoir to the Cobb County Marietta Water Authority. Canton's shares are the only portion of the new reservoir that the Water Authority doesn't currently own. As part of that same non-binding agreement, which is still being considered by Cobb officials, Canton would transfer its water and sewer treatment plants to the Cherokee County Water and Sewage Authority in exchange for that agency providing Canton water and sewer services at wholesale rates. The City of Canton and the Cobb Marietta Water Authority entered into a 50-year partnership to build the pumped storage reservoir off the Etowah River in May 2000. At that time, the project was established to cost $20 million. Glenn Page with the Cobb Marietta Water Authority said construction and land costs have increased the cost of the reservoir, now in the final stages of construction, to around $75 million, which has put Canton at what some officials have called an estimated $28 million in debt for the project. Further negotiations need to be done regarding the debt, but if the agreement is finalized, some believe washing the hands of the reservoir is fiscally responsible. Others believe it's critical to hold on to such an asset at a time when there are water scarcity concerns. Final say will be up to the council. Should the city sell its share of the Hickory Log Creek Reservoir to the Cobb County Marietta Water Authority? Why or why not?
I'm not going to give you an exact answer to that. What I will do is answer in a different way. There is an option to do that. There is also the option to keep it. The one thing that I've never heard from the current council is what would it cost on our water and sewer bills in order to maintain and service and retire the debt that we have of approximately $28 million. If we take current levels of water usage and we did it approximately, now this is a very approximate because we have multiple bonds with multiple interest rates, with multiple due dates, with varying principal repayment times. But if we took those bonds and we just did it flat out, we could estimate that approximately per 1,000 gallons of usage, we could add $2 to the average water sewer bill per 1,000 gallons of usage if it was done evenly over that. Now the question becomes, is that a tolerable expense, and would the citizens desire to have that, or are we better off proceeding by selling our interest in the reservoir to Cobb County? So it's really what's the best for the citizens. Is it best, would they prefer to pay $2 a 1,000 gallons, or would they prefer that we unload that debt by unloading our asset?
Thank you very much. Ms. Rose.
Okay. Our biggest challenge in the city of Canton is to determine the best solution to the water and sewer issues that we have. The reservoir is an asset to the city, and I'm willing to look at any kind of options that we can do to best benefit our citizens. But any agreement would have to benefit our citizens before I would even consider it. If we cannot do that, I am not for any kind of agreement.
Thank you. Mr. Stoker.
Same question?
Same question.
Yes.
Do you want me to repeat it? I'm sure.
I'm for keeping the reservoir. His statement about it being $2, it's going to cost us $2 one way or the other. If we turn the water and the reservoir over to Cherokee County, they're not going to eat that $2. They're going to pass it on to us. So I would rather control my future and keep the reservoir as to hand it over to someone else and let them control my future.
Thank you very much. Mr. Grant.
I believe the reservoir is probably the city's biggest asset at this point. Many will argue that water is quickly becoming the world currency as opposed to oil. And I think it's an asset that will only increase over time. I know that there are huge cost overruns with it, and we've got other water and sewer issues, and also know that water sitting up there in a beautiful reservoir is no good to us if we don't have a water delivery system to get it to our residents. But I'm in favor of keeping our biggest asset. Again, it can only increase in the future. I'm also in favor of utilizing its human asset by letting people enjoy the recreational amenities that the reservoir was promised to the citizens when we entered into those agreements.
Thank you very much. Mr. Goodwin.
Yes, I'm in favor of keeping the reservoir personally. I've been on the committee since day one to talk with the Cherokee County Water Authority about this, but I went into this with an open mind. I wanted to hear what they had to say, and also we've listened to what Cobb County has to offer as well, somewhat. We are still not through with that process, but in my mind, water is the gem of the future. When I go to GMA or the Mayor's Conference or Savannah, everyone comes up and says, how did you get that application? How did you get it processed? How did you get that permit to have the reservoir built? We've been trying for years. We can't seem to get there. They also say that the reservoir would cost probably 10 times today what it would have cost back when we built it. So I don't know many cities that are going to be able to build them if they can get the permits. But really, in my mind, it's an issue that the citizens will have to vote on and give us their opinions of what they really want. The two plans that did come about from both the Cobb County Water Authority and the Cherokee County Water Authority, after being checked over by a third party, neither one showed a reduced rate for the citizens. And so that's primarily my grievance with it.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. Mr. Huffman, please.
Yes, I'm in favor of keeping the reservoir if we possibly can. And based on just the comments here that you've all heard, there's some good reasoning here that this issue needs to be looked at a good bit further. All the answers are not in. The council and the mayor are looking into one option in depth, and that's a good thing. We need to have those numbers and those ideas on the table. But on the other side, as Mr. Cummings has indicated, that we also need to find other possible methods of keeping that here. And as Mr. Stoker said, we're going to pay for it one way or the other. And I agree that I would prefer to keep it here. That's my emotional feeling, and I have to say it's a little bit selfish in that I do live in Great Sky, and that reservoir was one of the reasons, as many here, purchased up in Great Sky. So for those who don't know, I do live there, so I have that emotional tie to keeping the reservoir. A good deal of work is yet to be done, but we need to move forward as quick as we can. There's got to be some reason why. Okay, thank you.
Ms. Tannen.
You all must forgive me, but those lights are right in my eyes and they're blinding me. So that's the reason I am looking down and away from you. So please don't take it personally. I have always taken the position of keeping the reservoir. That has been my position from day one. And just to expound upon what my colleagues here have shared with you, one of the main concerns that I had with this issue was that this was a dream and vision of the city government and the citizens of Canton way back in the 1990s. We were able to realize that vision and that dream. There's only been one option that we as a council have been presented with, and that was sell, sell, sell. I am not in favor of sell, sell, sell. I think there are other options out there. Water is a precious commodity. This reservoir is an asset to the city. I think it's an attribute that we can use in the future to draw businesses and other citizens to our city. I concur with much of what our colleagues are saying. Yes, it has a lot of debt service, but I think there are other options as a council that we need to look at and consider. I am in conversations with department heads and hopefully in conversation with individuals within the state government about options or other avenues that we might pursue as far as our reservoir goes.
Thank you, Ms. Tanner, I appreciate it. This question will not be quite as long-winded as